River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hopefully you all had a great Independence Day here in the States if you celebrate it. I know I did. And we are back. I'm so glad to see you guys. We got the whole crew this time. Jimmy B and Eric. How are we doing, guys?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, doing great as always. It's been a great day for me, actually.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's great?
Well, just the other day I accepted a new job and I resigned from my old job today. So
Woohoo!
yeah.
Yay.
Yo, congrats, dude.
Yeah,
I know you were telling us
making big moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were telling us off mic about some of the stuff going on, not airing all of it out, but no, that's awesome, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, it all kind of just came together here in the last week or so, and so I put in my notice today, and I'll start the new job at the end of the month, and yeah, it's a pretty exciting time.
And just so everybody knows, we don't make a ton of money from this podcast, so yes, we have to work and do other things.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Unless you all bombard our sponsor with a bunch of orders, then maybe.
Just Royal Retro jerseys everywhere as far as you can see.
Yes, with our promo code. Buy with our promo code. Like, bombard them now. I'll pull it back up. But yeah, do that. Just pause the episode. We'll come back to it. But yeah, guys, we are in the dog days of summer. We took last week off, and not really anything new on the Niners front. He's not technically signed to us, but our veteran safety, Deshaun Gibson, former veteran safety, is now suspended for 6 weeks for PEDs, which sucks. So we're probably not going to get him as a camp body. And Brandon is still not signed. He was supposed to have a meeting before Independence Day, but amounted to not too much. There's just a lot of ongoing speculation about how much he wants to go to the Commanders because he loves Jalen Daniels. Or what is that the quarterback's name there now?
It's something like that. Yeah, it might be Jaden.
Okay, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I'm just reiterating my same old phrase. John is a bad GM because he's going to have another training camp holdout.
Yeah, he definitely is. I wish that was an alarm that said he got signed. I know it wasn't, but no, I got my
my battle buddy. I have to call him back later.
Oh, gotcha. But no,
Yeah.
I have, in case we have breaking news, I have my phone on standby. But for now, guys, we're having a second edition of our Relax. It is the off-season, guys. Let's take a deep breath. Let's relax. And we're going to talk about some other sports stuff that's on our mind, like, because we have life outside the 49ers, believe it or not. And I will kick it off.
Adam Schefter keeps tweeting basketball updates when there are plenty of interesting football news to be said.
In the heat of free agency, I get it. He is the NFL insider, but I mean, hey, we all gotta figure out a way to get some clicks. So I guess I'll kick it off with the things that I've been following the most in sports lately. I was watching the Olympic trials because swimming was up here in Indianapolis, so I watched those. I haven't honestly followed any of the rest of the trials, but I'm just like everybody. I'm eagerly waiting for the actual Olympics to start in. We're like just over 2 weeks away from that on the 24th. I'm also I'm watching Hard Knocks with the Giants. I know, feel free to laugh at me. I don't care. I thought the first episode was really good.
I
and
think
then
HBO should pay you for every time you say Hard Knocks because you're their biggest like fan. Like I haven't met a bigger Hard Knocks fan than you.
I think it's fascinating watching the inner workings. Like I'm glad that they've revamped it a little bit. With now going in season, and now they're doing a trial run of the what it's like for the GM. Like the GM of the Giants is the central character of this Hard Knocks off season.
So you're saying it's not a monkey in a room with darts throwing it at a board full of names as far as to what to do with the team.
Does he just sit there and shake his head all day long and go, "Why did I pay Daniel Jones all that money?"
I wish you would actually find this interesting. He stuck up for Daniel in a way that I wasn't expecting either. But James, you'll especially laugh at this. He said, we have Daniel under contract for 3 more years, and even Patrick Mahomes couldn't survive the offensive line and 2 massive injuries in 3 years like Daniel did. And we're paying him, but why are we paying him to hand it off to a 28-year-old running back that we're also paying $12 million to? And that was a big thing for Saquon, was he's getting closer to 30 and we don't want to pay him $12 million. So I can't wait to see how that.
But that 28-year-old running back was really, really, really good and actually was the focal point of your offense and was the only part of your offense that was any good. So why would you not hand him the ball? That's like saying, that's like being the Lions in the 90s and being like, well, we've got this guy named Barry Sanders back here who's really, really good, but he's getting kind of old. So I don't want to pay him a bunch of money and hand him the ball anymore when I've got Scott Mitchell that can throw the ball down the field. I mean, that's the most ignorant statement I've ever heard.
I'm not saying I agree with him. That's just what the statement is.
Well, also in other Giants news, Danny DeVito's agent has become more popular than him, because he literally met the Pope and gave him a football with something. I think it was like a Pope. His face, the Pope's face was on the football or something like that. Like, yeah, like Sean Stiletto is more famous than his client, Danny DeVito.
That's awesome.
Good God, that's funny.
I mean, that's the problem. There was no noticeable drop off between a guy that we're making fun of that is completely irrelevant and the guy that they're paying $40 million a year to. There was no noticeable drop off.
Their court, like, you think they would have just said, "Why don't we get rid of Saquon Barkley and improve our quarterback room some way, somehow?" You know, like if they were going to do that, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But what are they really doing with that money? They're not doing anything with it. And, you know, you need to like get out of this Daniel Jones contract. like you shouldn't have given it to him anyway. And then you have Tommy DeVito as your backup, who is basically just a couch potato who like gets called up, you know, when you need him to fill in. I mean, the Giants are just, I mean, I love it as an Eagles fan. I love that they perpetual like stupidity. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man, you need a better GM.
Yeah, I mean, they paid Daniel Jones off of one, like, okay season, and they were like, "Oh, let's give you a boatload of money." I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And let us remind everybody that, you know, Daniel Jones looks like an actor who would play Eli Manning in a movie about you know, that's what like that meme is still timeless because yeah, I mean,
oh dude, I was gonna say I do follow I have been sort of following the fever because of the Caitlin Clark extravaganza, but you just reminded me that I watched Clipped with my wife on Hulu. It's about the Clippers in the massive fallout with their old owner being a racist, and Oh my God. You want to talk about some really unfortunate casting. If I didn't send it to you guys. I wish I did in the moment though. But no, the image of who they casted Draymond Green and Steph Curry. Oh, if it's not too far buried in here. It is so it's so bad. It is so laughably bad. If I can I'll interrupt when I find it, but you just reminded me of that. And I'll give that a free plug. You guys should definitely watch Clipped on Hulu. It was really good if you remember that whole debacle. Do you guys remember that? It was only like 10 years ago.
Yeah, is V Stiviano in there too, with her silly rabbit and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, no. The central characters are V Sterling and his wife.
Oh, fantastic.
And then there's a bunch of supporting characters, but no, God,
I guess with the whole Clippers thing, like 10 years ago, and how they started to become good, like I find it funny that they basically said, Chris Paul, you can't go form a super team with Kobe Bryant. We have to delegate you and punish you to the Clippers. You know, I don't know if you remember that. Like, he got traded to the Lakers, and the NBA said, no, that would be too good of a team. We can't have that. We can't have Chris Paul and the Lakers. So you want him in LA? We'll put him on the Clippers. There you go. We'll put him on the Clippers.
Yeah.
I'm not showing it on here because I don't want YouTube to get mad at us, but check your phones. I just sent it to you. It's Draymond Green and Steph Curry in Clipped. And I was in tears laughing. It was so funny. And I had to explain to my wife that
Oh
no,
my
I sent
gosh.
I just sent it a text message.
Okay, now it came through.
Eric,
That's
isn't that
so bad?
isn't that so
Dak
funny?
Prescott?
Yeah, that does look like Dak
I
Prescott.
thought that was Dak Prescott.
I had to explain to my
Wow.
wife that these two are probably going to be on the Mount Rushmore of the Golden State Warriors, and that's who they casted for them. And it was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
That's
It's nice to know that Dak is branching out into doing something other than football, since he can't really quarterback.
Dude, I know, right? The Blake Griffith was really funny too. Chris Paul wasn't that bad. Chris Paul's actor was pretty good, but yeah, no, Blake Griffith was hilarious too. I just didn't get a picture of him, but no, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I've just been enjoying keeping an eye on Brandon, and then yeah, I'll check in on the Fever. I'm gonna watch the Olympics when it happens. I'm gonna eat up every episode of Hard Knocks between this and between the Giants and the Bears.
So I have a question. You're on the Fever. Like, is the only prescription more cowbell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to. Like, I don't know a better way to be immunized other than I'm not going to go into a dark room, but
go on one of those ayahuasca retreats or whatever it is with Aaron Rodgers.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah. Yeah, an ayahuasca retreat with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my gosh. Do some LSD and, you know, like.
I like the way you pronounced it.
Yeah, I just made up a word.
Yeah, I was supposed to go with him to Egypt last week, but I didn't, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, I'll give the WNBA credit. They've at least like made news and been interesting this season. I mean, prior to this season, the NBA just like existed and like nobody knew it even was there. And like they would get to like the finals and you'd be like, oh, what? The NBA or the WNBA finals are on. Oh, I didn't even know that the season had started. Okay. That's interesting. But like, they're in the news like all the time. Like Angel Reese is in the news. Caitlin Clark is in the news. I mean, like they're pushing it hard and they're making noise all the time.
Their all-star rosters just got announced, and I think next week is the all-star like actual game. And yeah, yesterday the Fever beat the Liberty, the New York Liberty, who right now is the number 1 team up there with the Vegas Aces, or I think it's the Aces are number 2. But I've been keeping my finger on the pulse on them. Like, if that was not in an appropriate way to put it, but but no, it's been interesting. I've watched because my wife gets home late from work, I've watched a couple Fever games that were on Prime, like, and it's pretty entertaining. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, when watching women's basketball, like I feel like they are more fundamentally sound than the men. You
Agreed.
know, like the men just, like if you ever got taught how to dribble a basketball, you were always told to hold up your opposite arm to protect the ball. Men in the NBA don't do that. They just don't do that. But women are right there holding their arm up, to protect the basketball from being stolen. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's
yeah,
a lot more movement and plays and stuff that they do to cut and get open and things like that in the women's game too. Whereas a lot of the men's game is just ISO and dribble and shoot. And I mean, sometimes that gets boring.
yeah.
hmm But yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, I just don't want to feel like I'm hogging the. I want you guys to tell me what you guys are up to, like, with
Well, I
non-Niners
mean,
related stuff.
well, finding that little news report about Jerry Jones's paternity suit, that's that sort of made my day in a way.
I
I
want to
mean,
thank you for reminding us that that was actually happening still, because I remember hearing about it last year. But no, please fill us in on more of the updates and fill the listeners in on more of those updates that you saw today.
apparently he is suing his daughter for because she told people she was his daughter. Like apparently there was a paternity suit filed a long time ago, and Jerry was asked to take a paternity test, but instead of taking a paternity test, he made a deal to provide for them financially as long as they never publicly came out and said Jerry Jones was the father. So he doesn't want to be known as the father, but he wanted father responsibilities apparently, and doesn't want anybody to know about it. I mean, that seems jerky a little bit, like yeah, that's what's going on. He's suing his daughter for her telling people that she was his daughter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the owner of the Cowboys, so he's scum anyways. But I mean, yeah,
Does
that's
anything good ever happen in Dallas? Like it just doesn't. Like Texas doesn't
no.
do it. Like, when it comes to like football owners in Texas, it just seems like they are the sleaziest, dirtiest guys. You know,
Did you
Yeah.
did
I
she
mean,
did you say that he made her sign an NDA?
yeah.
so yeah, he made like apparently he made her sign an NDA uh, to not disclose that he was the father, as long as and he would pay child support apparently to make so to keep them quiet. Uh,
Which was a large sum of money.
it was a large sum of money, and he is providing for his children, but at the same token, he doesn't want the public embarrassment of knowing that he fathered children that weren't with his wife. If
Yeah.
so, so yeah.
Does
So
does he know that one of the most popular shows of this generation was Game of Thrones and right now House of the Dragon, where bastards and incest is abound? Like, we already laugh at you so much, dude. Like, this isn't gonna really add that much gas to the fire. Like,
just it just seems like he just the more you find out about Jerry Jones, the more you find out his life is like a Shakespearean tragedy. Like just bastard children showing up in what was it, Arkansas, in front of a building where they were trying to block the schoolgirl from entering, and
Yeah.
all that. Like, yeah, I
he
think
came from oil too, didn't he?
yeah, he came from oil too. He was an oil executive.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, and like I think Daniel Snyder just probably had a whole presentation just for Jerry Jones. Like he had one presentation with 30 slides on it for all the other owners, and then he's like, okay, now we're gonna move to Jerry, and here's Jerry, click, and here's Jerry, click, here's this, click, and so and I think yeah, and it's just funny how like ever since Jerry Jones tried to take on Daniel Snyder, more and more stuff comes out about Jerry Jones, So
What Daniel
it
Snyder
was-
should do? Daniel Snyder should release the 31 slides of like bullet points, but then like the really bad owners he puts behind a paywall on Patreon.
No, what would be interesting too.
He should create an OnlyFans.
There, it's the same PowerPoint, but he's presenting it without a shirt on.
Yeah. I mean, he's Dan Snyder. He's got to make it sleazy in some way.
I think what he should do is he should release the PowerPoint, but don't attach names to what the people have done.
Oh, then we can just guess.
Make it like a game. Like, who did
like
this?
Mad Libs. It's like Mad Libs. It's like coaching Mad Libs.
Like, who?
It's
did
like
this?
Wheel
Who
of
was it
Fortune.
that did this?
Yeah.
Who was the jerk that did this? Yeah, let's release it that way and be like, holy crap, who did this? You know? So
It needs to be Wheel of Fortune style. Like, I want to buy an E, and can I guess G?
Yeah. Ooh, that one's Gruden. That one's Gruden.
Oh my god, that is so funny. No, thank you. That's what I mean. Thank you for brightening our day with reminding us how awful Jerry is. I needed that. That was a nice little bright spot in my day.
Texas owners being Texas owners. That's what we got. You know, that's the way. I guess that's the way they do business in Texas. You know, bathhouses and happy endings and non-disclosure agreements and all of that. That's how it works in Texas.
I was gonna say, Boston's not in Texas, right?
True. Boston's not in Texas. That's another guy that got away scot clean because apparently the cops didn't have the proper warrant to film, and basically he didn't want the video to be released. We're talking about Robert Kraft. He didn't want the video to be released. So the cops said, well, you need to plead guilty to everything that we have on you. And he said no. And he got a lawyer, and the lawyer found out that the cops didn't have the proper warrant. So it got dismissed along with everybody else because guess what? Everybody else was clear too because that warrant was not legal. And yeah.
Good job on that sting operation, guys.
Yeah.
And guess what story was not addressed in the Dynasty when I watched that back in February?
Was it on the roast? Did anybody roast Robert Kraft for that?
Yes. Jeffrey Ross
a little.
He was told him to shut the hell up.
Jeff Ross was the only person that had enough balls to do that because apparently, like, nobody was really told a rule other than like, no, duh, we're not going to joke about your kids. Robert Kraft and his kids were the only two things that apparently the comedians could not talk about. But Jeff Ross was like, all right, I can get one Robert Kraft joke in. Yeah, he was the only one that talked about it.
Yeah. Brady came up and specifically told him, he was like, don't say that shit again.
Yeah, well, no, that's not in it now. If he went on Netflix now, that's not in it. But
did they take that out?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And they muted a lot of the booing that Kim Kardashian got when she went up on stage too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, if you want to see the actual uncut whenever Netflix goes live, you have to watch it within 24 hours. Otherwise, you're going to see a slightly edited version.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Chris Rock's special had an edit where he flubbed a joke, but he rebounded fine because he's a professional. But they cut out the little flub. But yeah, no, Netflix goes in and cuts up their live productions just like ever so slightly.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you got to do that, so make people happy. Like, I guess, but
doesn't make me happy. I want to see. If somebody messed up, I want to see it. Like that's part of the fun of live. But it's whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a little fun Netflix back in the day.
Yeah, I guess they are probably paying Chris Rock $50 million. So I mean, if he wants to keep doing shows, they're going to cut him up. So
yeah.
Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I got. Other than of course, I'm following my Phillies, and everybody seems to get injured right now.
Harper's injured right now, right?
Yeah, but he comes back. They're saying he's going to come back tomorrow along with Schwarber.
Okay.
We just
Is
lost.
Castellanos okay?
I mean, Castellanos, he's always fine. Like that dude, I think he might break Cal Ripken's record because they never take him out of the lineup. Like just keep putting him in the lineup. So yeah, Castellanos is fine. I mean, he's a little underachieving. So like you gotta understand, Nick Castellanos was the guy that Philadelphia decided to go into the luxury tax for. Do you guys know what the luxury tax is?
Yeah.
It's a penalty for going over the cap, right?
Yeah. Basically, you can go over the cap if you want to, but you just have to pay the other teams a fine, pretty much. And Nick Castellanos was our guy that we decided to go after. Not only did we go after him and go into the luxury tax, but we also gave up a second-round draft pick to sign him because he was still tied to the Reds. And so he's just a roller coaster. Like he's streaky for a long time and then he goes dead. In 2022 when we played the Braves and it looked like the Braves were going to creep back into game 1, he makes this spectacular catch. And you know what he said as to why he was able to make a good defensive play when he doesn't typically do it in the offseason? He says he basically said, I was paying attention more. Like I wasn't out there picking dandelions like I normally do. It's the playoffs, so I knew I needed the focus more. That's
at least he's honest.
That's the thing. You gotta love him. Like he's honest. Like he says the most profound things, and it's just funny. Like there's a love-hate relationship with Nick Castellanos. Like he's the type of guy that he knows when he is sucking, so you don't have to let him know. You don't have to boo him because he knows when he's sucking, and he'll say like, I deserve those boos because I suck right now. Like he literally will say that. Like that's what flies out of his mouth. But at the times when he's really, really good, he's really, really good. And, it's good to have him when he's really, really good. But I mean, and then Alec Boehm became an all-star for the first time. If you don't know
he's had a good story. He's had a good season.
Now, do you know the story of Alec Boehm and why this is like such a big deal to Philadelphians? Like so 2 years ago in 2022, he was at third base and, he had played third base from 2020 to 2021 and he really wasn't that great of a fielder and he was working on his fielding, but it was just, you could tell he was overthinking things. And in 2022, early in 2022, the Phillies were losing. It was early in the season. They were losing. And Alec Boehm made 3 errors in 1 inning, right? Yeesh. 3 errors in 1 inning. And then all of a sudden he makes a routine play and then the whole stadium like mockingly clapped him, right?
Yeah.
So you could see him as that was happening. He didn't put his glove over his mouth. You could see him with, I effing hate this place. And of course the cameras caught it, whatever. But what happened was at the end of the game, of course he gets questioned about it and he apologized immediately for it. He said, I was just frustrated and I'm sorry, whatever. The next day, of course, ESPN doesn't show this, but the next day he got a standing ovation for admitting that he said it and saying that he was sorry. And since then, Alex Boehm has been a really good third baseman, and he's crawled back up from I effing hate this place to now being a all-star at third base, the leading vote getter as the all-star third baseman. So it's like a true Philadelphian story where like this guy really, really sucked, but then he worked hard and now he's an all-star,
That's cool.
Dude, that's what's up. I didn't know any of that. That is a really cool story for him.
And they make t-shirts that say I effing hate this place.
Of course.
And everybody wears it to the stadium. And it's I have one of those shirts because it's just a classic Philly line now that everybody says, and wears because a lot of people tend to have that sentiment when they are in Philadelphia, but the fact that now he's turned it around into something that's playful and fun because he just did hard work and the fans got behind him after he said he was sorry. Like that's what turned him around. That's why it's like a really big story in Philadelphia that Alec Boehm is an all-star.
I love that you have two shirts now. One that says, I effing hate this place. And then you can switch that out for a shirt that says, no one likes us. We don't care.
Yeah.
The attitude that your city has is just wonderful. I love it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how we feel. Like no one likes us. We don't care. Like we'll be obnoxious and, we'll have fun. And, I mean, I remember there was somebody stated in one of the videos where I think it was in an article where a bunch of Redskins players were like on their knees praying before the game, and somebody said, "God's not going to help you today," and so
You guys are just another level. Just the whole, it's not even just sports, just the way that you just carry yourself. Like I love that you have such a strong personality. Like I sincerely love that.
I don't want to beat people up, and I don't want to encourage people to beat people up in the stands and call
throw
them
batteries.
And throw batteries. Like, no, I don't want that. But like we give ribbings to people, and it's just like, of course you're in our stadium wearing another team's jersey. You're going to get heckled like by us. Like that's just it. You're going to get heckled, or if you're Eli Manning, we're going to tell our 10-year-old to flip you off and talk to you about your mom, like, because that's what Eli Manning said. Eli Manning said he wasn't used to like 10-year-olds flipping him off and talking about his mom. So yeah,
those are the best. I saw a talk even just this season of this. I can't remember. It wasn't an Eagles fan. That's all it was. Like whoever the opponent was, just told this little kid, probably younger than 10, like he asked for a high five, like, "Hey, this is gonna be a great day," or like "nice jersey" or whatever. And the little kid literally like raised his hand and then psych. Like I was like, freaking Eagles fans, of course. Like
yeah. I mean,
or we could tie this to the Niners. Remember when Joey Bosa went
when they were teasing Joey Bosa. Yeah. They were like, "Joey Bosa, when's your playoff game today?" That's what they were. That's what they were saying when they saw him. "What was your playoff game today? What time was it?"
God, good God, you guys are ruthless.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So Eric, I've stated mine. What's yours? What are you following?
I'm not following that much in sports right now. I was following the Stanley Cup Finals a little bit when that was happening. I was watching that.
We almost had the greatest memes of all time. We were that close.
Yeah. I am sort of casually following the Guardians because they're here in Cleveland, which is somewhat close to me. And
they're doing really good. They're doing really good this season.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I'm curious to see once they get past the All-Star break if they can kind of keep it up. They're a young team, and young teams kind of typically sort of peter out and falter once August rolls around. They just sort of fall off, and I'm going to be curious to see if they can keep it together.
Terry Francona is still their manager, right?
No, he retired.
Oh, he got fired.
He retired.
Oh, he retired.
Yeah. So curious to see if they can pick up maybe starting pitching somewhere. They seem to be lacking some quality starters. So be interested to see what they do there. It would just be fun if they kind of got into things because they seem like a fun team. And like I said, they're just a bunch of young guys that are kind of making things happen. So it's been interesting to watch. I'm interested.
Yeah, the
Huh?
last time they were in the World Series, it was against the Cubs, and it was curse against curse, and the Cubs won.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially because Cleveland was up 3-1 in that series. and
Yeah.
ended up
Yeah.
losing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So
shame. Like the Cleveland in the playoffs, when they get to the World Series, they always find a way to lose it by heartbreak. Like heartbreak.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not even like they get whooped like 4-0. Like they always end up going to Game 7 and losing somehow in Game 7 in a really close game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know that they can make a big playoff run or anything, because I mean, some of the teams in the AL are really stacked, but it would just be fun for them to be in the chase and in the hunt, and maybe even get to the playoffs. So I am curious to see how Team USA does in basketball in the Olympics. That's supposed to be our sport. That's supposed to be our thing. We're supposed to dominate that. I still am a child of the Dream Team era, when we went out and smacked around other countries by 50 points and just made everybody look stupid across the globe.
Haven't we won the Olympic basketball like every year since the 90s?
I think we lost last Olympics, I believe. I think we got silver last year.
Yeah, the world is caught up. Like it's the world has caught up to USA in basketball. A lot of the good players in basketball too are from foreign places.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the not transfer portal, the not foreign exchange portal. I don't know what the proper term is, but no,
But I mean, they have literally caught up. But did you see? There was a meme that showed that LeBron James got number 6, Steph Curry got number 5, and Kevin Durant got number 7. And somebody put up, LeBron got his jersey number from the amount of finals he lost. Curry got his for the amount of finals he won, and Durant got 7 because that's how many teams he's been on. Like that was the meme. That was the meme.
Oh, that's brutal for Durant. That is so funny.
So
I know he helped get Golden State 1 ring, or 2 rings, but that's still funny. Just blatant ring chasing.
To answer your question, Dan, we have swept the gold medal in basketball in every year except for 2004.
2004.
Holy crap.
So interested to see if we can continue our dominance there.
Who won in 2004?
Argentina.
Really?
We got bronze that year.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was on the team though that year. Like that was like a sad team.
Yeah, there was. I'd have to look to see what the roster was. I'll Google that while we're sitting here. So
I'm just saying. I saw the projected roster for who's going to the Olympics in 2 weeks, and yeah, that team probably should be the number 1 seed, like, and expected to win it all. It is stacked.
So the 2004 basketball team is pretty good.
Really?
It's got Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, Dwayne Wade, Carlos Boozer, not great.
No.
Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James,
okay,
Emeka Okafor, not great.
Great.
Sean Marion,
not great.
Really good defender. Amari Stoudemire, decent.
Didn't he sleep with Steve Nash's wife? Did you ever hear that story? Did you ever hear that story?
Does Steve Nash get an assist for that?
Oh,
awesome. Did you ever hear that story? Like news came out. News came out that Steve Nash left his wife the day his baby was born. And everybody was questioning why. And you found out that he did not come out. I mean, his wife was Caucasian, and of course he's Caucasian, and the baby did not come out Caucasian. And come to find out, I believe it was Amari Stoudemire who was the baby's father. Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God,
that's amazing. Yeah.
Or remember? Do you guys remember
Tim Duncan also on the roster? That's okay.
Duncan.
Yeah. Lamar Odom, who was good at one point in time, and Richard Jefferson. So it's not a great roster, but I mean, there's some pretty stellar players on this roster.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony probably close to his peak. Tim Dillon was peak in that time, or Tim Duncan. Yeah, he was peak. Like
Allen Iverson.
And then LeBron James, he was still pretty young, LeBron James, but that's not nothing.
Well, and Dwayne Wade too.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, that's not a bad team.
No, but not a great team. So go finish your story, Dan. I'll look up the roster for this year.
I was just gonna remind you guys. Last year, I got such a kick out of that story. I think it was I don't know if he's still the Miami Heat coach, but the Miami Heat deliberately, they had their contract extension for him agreed upon, but they waited until the day that his divorce was finalized before he signed the extension. I just thought that was a hilarious move by the Heat to we're good on terms, but we'll wait until that's settled first, just to make sure she doesn't get any of that extension money. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
Well,
so this year's roster is Bam Adebayo, who's a center for the Heat. I guess he's good. I don't really know anything about him. Devin Booker, who's pretty good. Curry, Anthony Davis, who'll probably get hurt and not play. Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, who's been great for the Timberwolves. Joel Embiid, who will get hurt and not play. Tyrese Halliburton, who was great for the Pacers, but he was hurt in the playoffs, so I don't know if he's playing or not.
He didn't miss that much time. I think he'll be okay.
Okay. Drew Holiday, LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, who probably get hurt, not play, and Jason Tatum. So I don't know. This roster is good, I guess. I don't know.
It's not the dream team.
No.
They don't have Christian Laettner on it, so it's not the dream team.
Yeah.
Everybody gets that. There was 11 stars and then Christian Laettner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that team will get to the championship, if they can stay healthy. I don't know how hard they play in the Olympics versus the season that they get paid millions of dollars for, but
between Booker and Curry and Durant and even still LeBron, they should be able to outscore everyone, I would think.
But the other teams probably have NBA players on them too. That's the thing. The NBA is.
They do.
They have other NBA players, and
yeah.
So
is Giannis playing for Greece? And what about Joker? Is Joker from Russia?
No, I don't know where he's from.
Or
no,
Serbia?
It's not Russia. Something, yeah, I don't know.
Because they would go
somewhere where the foreign mafia works.
They would go because they would go play for their national
former
team.
Yugoslavia. He might be from somewhere in the former Yugoslavia because they do breed good basketball players from the former Yugoslavia.
Serbia.
Yeah. And
Serbia, former Yugoslavia. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just assumed Giannis would go play for Greece. I wouldn't assume that Giannis would play for us, but I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Well, he must be. He's not on our roster. He's got to be playing for Greece. So.
I think he is. I think he is playing for Greece. I think I saw some sort of Twitter post that said, "See you in Paris," and so yeah.
Yeah. Did he even have to try out the 2-time MVP? Or at least one time?
So, no. I'm sure they gave him and his 3 brothers a pass and let them all on the team.
Yeah. Speaking of foreign players, have you guys seen the movie? I believe it's called Hustle with Adam Sandler.
Oh, you know what? I've watched half of that. I need to finish that movie sometime.
You need to finish that movie.
Yeah. Well, the problem was I was at a party and I was watching it, and then the party.
The music dropped. The music dropped.
Yeah. So the party started going, and I didn't get to finish the movie, and then I got halfway through, and then I started talking to my wife about it, and she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Well, I'd really like to watch that." She says it sounds really good, and she likes Adam Sandler a lot, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Well, I'll stop, and I'll just wait and I'll watch it with you sometime," and then I've just forgotten all about it until actually you just mentioned it.
Well,
But-
I remember
it's so good. That's a great
it
film.
is really, really good. Adam Sandler in a dramatic role but still, like, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I watched it with some friends of mine who are not into sports whatsoever. Totally just, into pride parades. We'll just say that. Loved the movie. He thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah. It was
Very
like
nice.
the first half that I saw was very entertaining. I need to see how it ends. So maybe I'll see if we can watch that tonight, actually.
It's what makes me mad about Adam because, like, yes, I love his comedies. He's a great comedic actor, but when he can also do movies like Hustle, Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems, it makes me want to shake him. Like, why don't you do more of these? You're really good at drama, dude. Like,
You pulled out Punch Drunk Love, man. Like, I haven't seen that in a minute, but I used to love that movie.
We were going to watch
so
Uncut Gems
good.
the other day, and I saw it was an A24 movie, and I made my wife turn it off. I hate those A24 movies.
That's so fun. I can understand Bo because Bo is not a very accessible movie at all. I will admit that full front. But Uncut Gems is so damn good, dude. That's you need to give Uncut Gems a chance.
We watched
it's 2
Friday
hours
the
of pure anxiety.
We watched Friday the 13th Part 2 instead. It was much better.
You didn't even watch one where you see him in the hockey mask yet?
No, we've gone all the way up to, we watched Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. I think we're ready to watch Part 5 now.
I see.
Did you buy the Scream Factory box?
No, it's just they're all on like Max or something. So we're just watching
Darren,
them on
who's
there.
the killer in Friday the 13th?
Jason Voorhees.
No, you're wrong. You're gonna die and scream. You're gonna die and scream.
The mom technically manipulating him. Yeah. She's not the one actually carrying the
mom. It wasn't the mom manipulating him. It was the mom.
In the first one?
Yes, it was the mom.
Okay. I apologize. Of all the 80s slashers, Jason is my least favorite. Like, well, I guess of all slashers and horror icons in general, Jason's low-key my least favorite. Like,
yeah.
I love Freddy versus Jason, but I don't really care that much for most of the other Friday the 13th.
But all Scream fans, Scream, like the series Scream, know that answer because that's an answer in Scream.
Yeah, I think we're going to watch the Scream series next after we get done watching the Friday the 13th series. So,
is it sacrilege to, like, I don't know. I've liked the sequels a little bit more than the original Scream. Like, I do like Scream. Like, I'd probably give it still like a B+, but I get that part of it is supposed to be that the characters are kind of up their own ass and the meta, like, oh, we know how horror movies work, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I kind of find the first one a little bit insufferable versus the sequels. I don't know. Is that sacrilege to say?
No, I think it's fine.
I mean, it's a franchise, so it's like, which one you like best in the franchise,
And I love me some Wes Craven. R.I.P. He gave us Freddy. He gave us Krueger. And I love the Nightmare movies, but I don't know. I don't know. It's grown on me. But my first impression of Scream was, God, do I sound like these assholes in this movie? I'm glad they're dying. Like,
yeah. But you gotta remember too. Some people like The Empire Strikes Back more than they like New Hope. I mean, there's some people like Godfather Part 2 more than they like the first Godfather.
Yeah.
Well, those people are right. I know 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, on my old movie podcast, we did a rewatch of all the Star Wars movies, and we got into it because he loved A New Hope, and I tried to watch A New Hope just at face value. Like, I'm not taking away any of the history. Like, who am I? Like, and yes, I understand it kicked off everything. But if you just watch it at face value without any of the historical context of like what it became, A New Hope's kind of not great. It's not really that good a movie, honestly. In my humble opinion, I'll say.
Well, you also gotta look at, you gotta also like go into the mind of a teenager in the 70s watching that movie. That's another thing.
Course.
You gotta think like, yeah, this had never been done on film like this before. Like, so yeah, so I could understand why people who watched it in the 70s are like, I love A New Hope more than I like Empire Strikes Back. But you're right. If you just look at everything face value and just the eyes of a moviegoer right now, well, yeah, Empire's better.
Yeah.
I still think Godfather 1 is better than 2, though. Like,
it's a fantastic movie. Like, it's truly splitting hairs between 1 and 2. Like, Eric, I mean, have you seen all 3 Godfathers at least once since you watched movies once?
Gonna make a confession. I've never seen the Godfather movies.
Oh.
I started to watch The Godfather and it was really, really slow, and I stopped watching it.
Oh,
that is a deal breaker for you when a movie's pacing is not that fast.
Yeah, like I can't, like I gotta have something to keep me going. If it's just talk, like I can't handle it. So
you don't like Quentin Tarantino movies either?
Nope.
If you don't like talking, you don't like those either.
Nope.
We would have burnt you at the stake at Full Sail.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's I mean, Pulp Fiction is like fine.
Stop talking, Eric. Stop talking. Just stop talking.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
my wife made me watch Reservoir Dogs. It was terrible. So.
Oh my gosh. No.
I don't. Don't watch
Kill Bill. It's just a bunch of guys talking in a parking garage or a warehouse for 90 minutes. It's terrible.
Are you kidding me? The most gruesome part of that movie is when he cuts off the dude's ear. But you know what's beautiful about it? Why it's so gruesome? You don't see him cut off the ear. You visualize in your head what is happening to him.
But I had to listen to him just yammer on for 50 minutes before he did that.
A Few Good Men is Tom Cruise just yelling at Jack Nicholson for 2 hours.
Eric probably doesn't like that movie either.
I saw it once.
Yeah.
12 Angry Men is just 12 men trapped in a jury room talking for 2 hours.
I don't think I've seen that.
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah, that's fine. I deserve it.
I guess. Yeah, I can't believe it.
So,
have you ever heard like the funny description of Godfather 1, 2? Like not if you just say like if you were to turn on the guide or whatever for and you got Godfather Part 1, people have said like a war hero comes back from home to take over the family.
Oh yeah.
I
own them all on Blu-ray. I think I might have sold them, but I used to own them all on Blu-ray.
I love that. You're technically not wrong, but that's not a great summary of it.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
God, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I honestly like the Godfather trilogy. I think in like I like 1. Definitely 2, 3. The acting's pretty bad in 3.
He's Francis still alive. He recut 3 during COVID, and it's called The Godfather Coda now, and it's better. It's still not a great film, but it's better.
Yeah. I mean, I would
definitely.
The only thing is he ended all 3 movies the same way, like the same way. He ends all 3 movies the same way.
Maybe.
I mean, that's the only problem.
That's not deal break. That's
an
interesting. Well, no, that's just interesting. That's just, I don't know. I want to get in your mind, like when my I don't know, when I talk to my wife about movies, I want to jump in her mind, just like, how do you think like that? I don't think like that.
I don't know. Like that's I mean, honestly, every movie is the same. If you open up that, script writer's handbook, every movie is really the same. Something happens within
There's
the first
only, I think there's only 5 or 6 stories. Like truly, like there's only like 5 or 6 stories. I think we learned at Full Sail, and like
Well,
our
I'm just saying,
professor,
like
like
the scriptwriter's handbook says something's got to happen within the first 10 minutes that will drive the rest of the movie. Like, so every movie, if you watch it, something happens in the first 10 minutes, at least the good ones, that something happens in the first 10 minutes that drives the rest of the story. And then it comes to an ultimate climax and then a resolution. Like, every movie's really the same.
yeah, no, it's not wrong, but it's letting go of that and experiencing, like, it's kind of like when you're eating, like at the end of the day, you ate something and you don't feel hungry anymore, but it's how every ingredient's just a little bit different, or the food's presented a little differently, or like it's letting go and seeing how creatively and differently each director puts their spin on telling probably a familiar, more than likely a familiar story. Like, dude, 2 weeks ago, every single sports movie is the same damn movie, but they're shot differently. It's about a different sport. It's about the coach instead of a player. It's about the mom adopting a kid, and then the movie was terrible. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what I mean.
Well, here's another movie. I wonder, Eric, seen Memento? Have you ever seen Memento?
Oh yeah, I love Memento.
Oh, you like Memento? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
we got him on. We
yeah,
got
I
him on
like
Chris
Memento a lot.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Memento's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you see Did you see Oppenheimer yet?
I have not seen Oppenheimer yet.
I think it's on Prime right now. I think it left Peacock for Prime, but you should definitely watch Oppenheimer. I don't know if it's. I don't know
okay.
if it's. I don't know if it's too slow for. I'm trying to. The way you've described, you don't like A24. I would be very curious to see if you think it's too slow for you. I'm trying to say that in the least mean way possible.
No. I mean, I'm interested to try it. Actually, you know what? I might download that when I go on vacation and try and watch on the plane.
Where are you going on vacation to?
Cancun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very
With you.
nice.
I'm gonna come
Yeah.
with you.
You're gonna come with us? All right.
Yeah,
fine.
why not? I go on a Cancun vacation.
I'll pack you in the luggage.
All right, cool. Is it all inclusive resort?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm there. Definitely there.
Oh, dude. We will need to throw that on the calendar. I just realized, and I'm also looking at our time. We need
So
to.
I will not be on the taping on Friday or Thursday or whatever day we tape. I'm not there.
This Friday. Okay.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking at the time, and we're getting close to my need to go. But but no, yeah. This has been. We need to do this. We'll probably end up doing this more, but I enjoy, and I hope you listeners and viewers enjoy that when we don't have something to talk about, there are actually other things besides the Niners to talk about. Believe it or not, even though our show says otherwise. But if you stuck around to now and want our promo code from our sponsor, here you go, guys. It's royalretros.com. They've been with us and they continue to be with us during this off season. Go to royalretros.com and use the promo code Shady Sports, and it'll get you 10% off of your entire order. Check out that candlestick collection. It's curated with the Bay Area in mind. And again, once you find something you like, use the promo code Shady Sports and get 10% off of your entire order. It helps us out. It helps Sam and Shady Sports Network, our parent, out. And yes, one last time, Shady Sports. That's the promo code to get 10% off your order at royalretros.com. Go get yourself an authentic throwback jersey today. James, let the people know about our shirts, the charity, all that.
So, guys, if you follow us, you know that, and we were just talking about how owner accountability is just really sad. Jerry Jones suing somebody for basically saying that he's her father, you know? So we don't like that there's a lack of accountability in the NFL for its owners. So we have decided to start a movement called Owner Standards or Less Than Player Standards, hashtag owner accountability. Reason why we start this, because, you know, the CEO, Jed York here, has insider trading scandal. The Houston Texans minority owner just got a slap on the wrist after he was charged with very serious sexual crimes. And so we know players, this may happen to players. And, you know, too, and the news follows it. The news follows every bit of it, and these owners allow you to criticize their players and to demean their players that are going through this, and rightfully so. Yeah, they do horrible stuff, and if they get off lightly for it, they should be called out. But the world knows about this. Everybody knows about this. But you'd be hard pressed to find the stories that we're talking about the owners, and the NFL's reporting of them. So we don't like that. And to show you where we put our money, where our mouth is, we are selling shirts to raise money for Kentucky Crisis Center, Mountain Comprehensive Care Centers in Kentucky. That's our statement shirt right there. Owner standards are less than player standards. # owner accountability. $22.99 gets you that in the t-shirt. And we have different colors, different sizes, and different styles. Next up, we have our podcast logo art. This is the art you see on our YouTube channel for our profile picture or our Spotify account or any other place you listen or view us. This is the art that we have. You can get that $22.99 in the t-shirt. Get that in different styles, different sizes. Next up, we have our alternate logo shirt. I have this shirt, very nice quality, $22.99. Get you that in the shirt. Plus, we have different colors, different sizes of that. And then last but not least, how can you say no to our mascot, a peanut eating peanuts while cheering on his San Francisco 49ers? $22.99 gets you that in the shirt today. Donate to Mountain Comprehensive Care Centers in Kentucky today.
Yes, guys, like James said, the link to those shirts is in our bio. And if you want to check out Mountain Comprehensive Care Center, we have the link to their website too. We spent this whole episode talking about things that we could throw into the little news that I like to talk about at the end. So the only news that I can say now is I am going to bring back our Reels channel. I was doing holiday stuff all last weekend, and there's some birthday stuff for me coming up this weekend, so I can't promise it'll be this weekend, but I'm going to do my best to bring it back before the end of July. That's the deadline I'm giving myself because I'm busy this weekend also. But yeah, our Reels channel is coming back. I have some awesome software I'm using, and yeah, I'm taking my time on it because I got my job and busy last week, busy this week. But by the end of July, we should have a presence on Reels. What about you guys? Any last words from you guys?
Jimmy B's made its first sale. Hey.
Congratulations.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sounds like somebody's home.
Yeah, my wife was coming to tell me dinner was ready. So that's my big news. I'm about to go eat.
Dinner's ready. Are you gonna stop talking to your friends?
Stop being a nerd and come eat dinner.
Funny enough, that's what I'm gonna do when I hop off the mic.
Yeah. So no, I don't have anything. I mean, I guess the most exciting thing is, the new college football game is coming out in like a week or so. That's pretty big news on the video game front. I mean, people have been waiting for about a decade for the new college football game to come out. So that's got a lot of excitement. They just dropped a gameplay trailer today where you can actually see gameplay for the first time and see what the game's actually going to look like. And so that's getting a lot of streams and a lot of views right now. So I was checking that out earlier today, and I don't know. It kind of looks like, it looks like what I expected it to look like, which is a college version of Madden. So, it's fine. It's still missing some things that Madden's been missing for years on Next Generation that I still don't understand why it's not there, but it is what it is.
Eric, are you talking about video games again? We need to get down here for dinner.
So, but people are going to eat it up. It's going to sell a ton of copies because people love college football.
If you get it after your trip, we need a full review of it. Because I agree. I've seen NCAA 14 sell at Disc Replay for literally like $150. Like people, people really wanted this game back, so that's really big for the video game community.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of love. It's going to sell. EA is going to make millions of dollars just off this game alone. So,
oh yeah, if it's as playable as that terrible Lamar Jackson Madden, as long as it's like just marginally better than that game, then millions of dollars.
Yeah. Yep. So that's all I got. And I'll see you guys when I get back from vacation.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
just James and I on Friday then, and I will be a year older, and you will be gone in your trip to Cancun. So yeah, I guess that's all we got for this.
I guess I'll have
episode,
a drink.
guys.
I guess I'll have a drink for you, Dan.
Thank you. Yes,
Get
we're
drunk.
not. I didn't look into taping on my birthday like we did with you, but yeah, nope. Next time we're back on Friday, I will be a year older.
All right.
All right. With that being said, guys, outro music, River Road, Justin Youth.
Catch you guys on Friday.
River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long. River Road, where have all the women gone? Have they kissed her hand and waved you bye-bye? Have they thought about crossing your double yellow lines? River Road, they love the way you